The X-Zone radio and TV show is largely an opinion talk show. All opinions, comments, or statements of fact expressed by Rob McConnell's guests are strictly their own and are not to be construed as those of the X-Zone radio and TV show or in any manner endorsed by Rob McConnell, Relmar McConnell Media Company, Talkstar Radio Network, its affiliated stations, or employees.
All Hit Radio.
Welcome to the X Zone, a place where fact is fiction and fiction is reality. Now, here's your host, Rob McConnell.
And welcome back to the X-Zone, everyone. My name is Rob McConnell, coming to you from our studios in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. If you'd like to send us an email, xzone@xzoneradiotv.com, on MSN Messenger, xzoneradiotv@hotmail.com, and our website, www.xzoneradiotv.com. X-Zone Nation, my next guest is a very good friend of mine. Her name is SHOSHANNA Allison, and for about 35 years, SHOSHANNA traveled the U.S. on a spiritual mission, which brought her to New Mexico with Robert Ghostwolf. She became very internet savvy early in the 1996s, became involved with the anti-aspartame movement, warning people of the dangers of putting chemicals in their bodies. And this effort expanded to warning the public about MSG, fluoride, vaccines, genetically modified foods, and a myriad of other toxic substances. In her travels, she became involved with Native Americans and was trained in ceremony and beliefs by elders of several tribes, which put her in perfect step to understand the teachings of Robert Ghostwolf, whose work she is still bringing to the public. SHOSHANNA now lives in the Midwest with her 3 dogs and a very, very, very busy computer. Joining us now from the Midwest, somewhere with her dogs and the busy computer, is SHOSHANNA Allison. And SHOSHANNA, great talking to you again, my friend.
Thank you, Rob. Thank you for inviting me on this evening. This is a pleasure. It's that time of year, isn't it?
It certainly is. And what we're talking about, X-Zone Nation, Robert Ghostwolf left us, how many years ago? 3 years, 4 years now?
No, 2005. It'll be 5 years on December 21st.
5 years. I remember you called me up, and Laura and I were on our way down to Florida, taking our first vacation in years, and we were driving through Washington when you called. And you know what? Robert was and still is to me a very special person, a very spiritual person, a person who was in touch with both sides of the realms that we call reality. And he certainly is missed. And how are you doing now?
I'm doing pretty well. I stay busy as you said a minute ago on my computer, forwarding things, to a massive list of people things that I think they need to know, political nonsense and health matters. Health matters, I think, are the most important right now. And certainly when you get into your, I guess I'm in my golden years now, aren't I? When you get into your golden years, health matters become even more important than how we take care of our bodies, And Wolf was, of course, extremely conversant with herbs and remedies for all sorts of things, natural remedies. So, I have a lot of his medicine things right here for myself. in the meanwhile, life is good today.
Well, that's great to
Life
hear.
is good today. I'm going to start a yoga class tomorrow night for the first time in a long time.
Really?
Yeah, I used
Yoga.
to do yoga every day for years, and then I stopped.
Mm-hmm.
And tomorrow night I get to go to a yoga class. Yay, team.
Yay, team. Listen, you and I have to take a commercial break, my dear. You know, I don't know if I've said this before to you, but I certainly have mentioned you both on air and off air. You know, the work that you have done in the past, and I know the work that you're going to do in the future, getting the information out that has helped so many people. I don't think people can ever thank you enough for the great work that you do.
Well, thank you. Thank you for noticing, Rob.
Well, I notice and I appreciate. And I'll be chatting with you on the other side of this 2-minute commercial break. X-Zone Nation, my very special guest is SHOSHANNA Allison. And SHOSHANNA and I will be back on the other side in 2 minutes as the X-Zone continues. We're right here from our studios in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. My name is Rob McConnell. Don't go away. SHOSHANNA Allison is our special guest this hour, X-Zone Nation. And SHOSHANNA, how did you meet Robert Ghostwolf?
Oh, wow. I was working with a Native American elder who was the most gracious and incredible human being in Cherokee, North Carolina. I was in Atlanta. And he was an Art Bell fan, but he moved in the mountains and couldn't get the show. Mm-hmm. So I would make a recording every single night of all of the hours. Mm-hmm. And every 2 weeks I would take tapes to him, and he would start at the beginning of the box and work backwards. Or start at the back of the box and work forward. You always did. This particular time, he took the front tape out of the box and stuck it in his little tape recorder. Following morning, he called me. Now, Native American elders have their women call women. Mm-hmm. They don't call. And the following morning, all of a sudden, I hear Fred's voice on the phone. Sugar, he says. I said, oh, my God, you're calling me. He said, sure am. It's important. He said, I want you to get in touch with this Robert Ghostwolf person that was just on Art Bell and tell him that those ancient sites down in Miami are well known to the elders back in the Everglades. He said, I'm going to give you some code words and some phone numbers, so when he calls down there, they'll know that they came from me. And they can help him save that site. Now, this is way back at the Miami Circle times. And he said, get in touch with him and you tell him these things. And I wrote down all the things he said to say. So I took a deep breath and I tried to find Robert Ghostwolf, and the following day he called me back. And we found out we had a lot to talk about. That was 4 years before we wound up wandering off into the sunset together. So we actually met via Native American people in the Miami Circle and Art Bell Show.
Do you believe in fate, destiny?
Oh, absolutely. I believe that frequencies that are meant to draw together, draw together.
I don't remember the first time that I met Robert, but I do recall within the first couple of minutes talking to him, I felt as if I had known him all my life. He had a very sincere, you could tell he was very sincere, very honest, and he believed in what he was saying, and he wanted to help people. That plain and that simple.
He was an ancient soul, Rob, and one of Wolf's problems, and one of the reasons I think that he stayed depressed a lot and what have you, was that he couldn't say enough fast enough. And he didn't think people could really hear him, and he saw too much. He knew too much. He said to me so many times, "You do not want to be able to see what I see." We were walking through Walmart one day, and there was a family in front of us in the aisleway, and all of a sudden he jerked and he jumped and he said, "I'm out of here." And I said, "What's the matter?" He said, "Never mind, I'll tell you later." And out he went.
Jeez.
And I walked out there and he had tears streaming down his face. And I said, "What in the world is going on?" He said, "That mother of those 4 children in front of us is going to die within 6 months." And he told me exactly what was wrong with her. So he could see illness in people. He could see things. Like he said, he did not want others to be able to see what he saw, but he wanted others to listen to what he had to say so that they could, A, learn how to do what he did, at least in a small way, or take advantage of all of the work that he had done and listen to him.
How did Robert get started in the work that he was doing with the Native Americans?
I don't really know, except that along the way, he was born on Long Island, and I'm not sure where he was born actually, but he grew up on Long Island, and along the way he discovered that one of his grandparents was Native American, and I believe his first venture into the Native American world was going north from Long Island up into New York to find this person. And whether or not he found her or whether or not he found those who knew her, I do not know that part of the story. But it began there. And he was young. He was young. He was like, I would say in his mid-20s.
Wow. Was it an epiphany for him when he realized that his destination, or that his destiny, I should say, was the work that he did, the work that he did with you and the many people that he worked with in order to make this a better world?
Well, I don't think so much as an epiphany as a passion, a calling. He knew what he had to do. He knew what he had to do, and he spent 18 hours a day doing it. He on my little list of things that maybe we were going to talk about, he was a writer, and he thoroughly enjoyed writing and bringing through the prophecies and his spiritual teachings. And by bringing them through, I mean by going, I wouldn't dare go upstairs and say, "Honey, what do you want for dinner?" when he was busy working. He would be in another world. His frequencies were so different from the surroundings or from mine that I would be reminded many, many times of what I was told in Virginia Beach when I worked with a transpsychic there. Rob, my phone is blinking at me. I'm going to have to change phones. Hold on a minute.
All right. So while Shoshana's doing that, sure.
Hold,
no
hold
problem.
on.
While Shoshana's doing that, once again, Exonation, Shoshana Allison is our special guest. We're talking about Robert W. Ghostwolf. And if you'd like to send us an email, exon@exonradiotv.com. And for more information, here's a couple of websites. robertghostwolf.com and wolflodge.org. Show, are you back?
I sure am.
There you are.
We're praying now.
Yeah.
Anyway, I was reminded many times with Wolf about when the teacher that I worked with and studied with in Virginia Beach would go into trance. We were warned not to touch him, because if we would, it would break the connection it would break the connection that he had with the outer realms. And in the doing of that, he would pop back into his body and perhaps pop in so fast it could kill him.
Wow.
So I would have to remember, and sometimes I didn't, and the wrath of God would come down upon my head. But Wolf was. It is said that he had PTSD, which is very possible, and that could be from those comings and goings from the other side in too quick a manner. Popping in and popping out, and your body takes a real beating when that happens. Anyway,
I know that you're very spiritual, and I know that Robert was very spiritual. Has there been contact with Robert from the other side?
Little things happen, like I could not find a flashlight. Could not find a flashlight. The lights were out, blah, blah, blah. When the lights came on, there was a flashlight standing up in the middle of my stove. Where did that come from? I didn't do that.
Yeah.
All kinds of little things like that happen. And there's one other thing that has happened, too, that's really an anomalous adventure. There's a book that I'm about to publish that's I thought was his last work. Mm-hmm. He had been working on yet another book called Ancient Footsteps on the old Spanish Trail. And I had opened the file. I have all of his files in my computer now.
Right.
I had opened his files and opened the file to that book so many times and just bemoaned the fact that there were 8 or 9 pages there, and they were just notes of things that he wanted to remember. Rob McConnell, about a month ago, I opened up that file just to bemoan one more time. Mm-hmm. There are 256 pages in there, absolutely almost perfect copy images and everything. Now, how did that get there? I don't know. I don't have a clue.
And yet, it's there.
And yet it's there. So I'm about to publish a book that we had to change the name because other people are using the name now. Mm-hmm. We were going to call it, or he was calling it, Twilight of the Gods.
Yes.
Excuse me, but we've had to change it, and the name is going to be Echoes from Our Future.
I like that.
And it is more and more and more prophecies and how the Bible and the Chilumbam and all sorts of various teachings from ancient times all fit in together. Now, the last chapter of that book are the Hopi prophecies that have not yet been released. They're the final Hopi prophecies. And I think that he called them thunders in his previous work. Mm-hmm. And I believe that he had published up to the 8th thunder, maybe the 9th thunder. But these go up to 14, and it's time. So that book will be published hopefully by the end of the year. Perhaps not by December 31st, but certainly it'll be off my desk by then.
Shoshana, please stand by, my dear. You and I have to take our news break at the bottom of the hour. Exonation, Shoshana Allison is my very special guest. We're talking about Robert Ghostwolf, a great man who left this plane of reality 5 years ago. My God.
Yeah.
Shoshana, stand by. You and I will be back after the news. And Exonation, for more information on Robert Ghostwolf, www.robertghostwolf.com and www.wolflodge.org. Shoshana and I will be back on the other side of this commercial break with the news as the X-Zone continues from our studios in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. Don't go away.
But I ran out of places and friends.
You're listening to the X-Zone Radio Show, live and around the world on the Talkstar Radio Network. X-Zone Broadcast Network, UK High Definition Radio,
Euro High Definition Radio,
and Star Cable. Our toll-free telephone number worldwide is 1-800-610-7035.
Our email address, xzone@xzoneradiotv.com.
On MSN Messenger, xzoneradiotv@hotmail.com.
And our website,
www.xzoneradiotv.com.
I believe it's meant to be, darling. I want you.
The light shines down the valley, the wind blows up the alley. Oh, and I wish I was lying in the arms of Mary. She took the pains of boyhood and turned them into feel good. Oh, and I wish I was lying in the arms of Mary. Mary was the girl that taught me all I had to know. She put me right on the first mistake. Summer wasn't gone and I learned all she had to show. She really gave all a boy could take, yeah. So now when I
And welcome back, everyone. Shoshana Allison is my special guest, and we're talking about Robert Ghostwolf. And if you're a fan of the X-Zone, you know that Robert was a regular here on the show, a gentleman that I highly respected, and as you know, not everybody gets into that category on this show, but he certainly was there. And Shoshana is the lady who is responsible for letting, I will say this, Shoshana, for letting the world know about dangers of MSG, fluoride vaccines, genetically modified foods. You've been there for the public, warning people, helping people. And,
Don't forget depleted uranium.
oh gosh, yeah, depleted uranium is the biggie. You know, Bob Nichols, Lorraine Moret, Hildebrand, let me see, Doug Rocky.
Right.
My heavens, you've been there through it all.
Yeah, I've been out here pumping away for a long, long time.
Now, what else was Robert working on, or what did he work on that, you know?
Well, one of the things that very few people know is that Wolf was an accomplished artist, and he worked in oils.
Really?
Absolutely. I've got a couple of paintings in my living room, and there's a whole box of them, a huge box of them, all crated up, ready to send to his daughter, that I've never seen. But I have had old friends of his ask me, well, do you have this painting and do you have that painting? Evidently I do, but I've never seen them. I'm not about to open that crate. It needs to be sent to California, you know. Anyway, yes, he was an accomplished artist in that way. He also was an accomplished guitarist and had an incredible country folk singing kind of voice. As a matter of fact, I have a tape of his where he's doing Willie Nelson almost better than Willie Nelson can.
Now, I hear Willie Nelson is in trouble with the law again for the funny weed that he likes to smoke.
Yeah, well, and unfortunately, it's in Texas.
Yeah.
That's not good news.
No, it's not. He's looking at jail time this time.
Yeah. And he's, what, 78?
Oh, for goodness sake, leave the guy alone. You know, let him have his fun. You know,
Yeah,
they don't do anything about the Mexicans that are bringing all the stuff into California, so why should they worry about Willie Nelson, who's done so damn much?
Really?
You know, he's helped a lot of people. Look at Farm Aid.
Oh, yeah, yes.
Come
yes,
on.
yes, yes.
Give him a break, for goodness sake. God
You know,
bless him.
not only that, but he's been an inspiration to a lot of young people, too.
Sure has.
That, you know, in the music field, you know, people who probably otherwise wouldn't have forged ahead unless he patted them on the head and said, you did good today, you know.
Yeah. I also remember from talking with Robert that he had done many travels to Mexico and South America with Speaking Wind, who was his close friend and colleague.
Indeed, he and Speaking Wind traveled together a lot, and that's a sad story, Rob. Wolf made arrangements for Speaking Wind to come on the Art Bell show. I'm sorry to talk about your...
Hey, it's okay, Art. Listen, I've got a lot of respect for Art.
Thank you. Anyway, he made arrangements, Wolf made arrangements for Speaking Wind to come on the Art Bell show. He talked about prophecies. He talked about many things. He has books out there and what have you. And 10 days later, he was hit by some sort of a frequency out in the Pueblos in New Mexico and fell over dead.
Oh, my gosh.
And he was like 52, same age as Wolf. Wolf, I believe, was 58. We're not sure. 56, 58, we're not sure. But, so, this, out of Wolf's circle, well, out of Wolf's close circle, I think there's only one left. And that's pretty scary. We lost Rich Balan not too long ago.
Yeah.
Rich is the man who wrote the RICO lawsuit, anti-aspartame lawsuit against Nestle's and Coca-Cola and all of those people. And he took that to court, filed it in the federal court. And Rich was only 42 when he passed away about 6 weeks ago.
Speaking about aspartame, how come it's still on the shelves after all the hard work that people like yourself have done trying to get it off? As far as I'm concerned, as soon as you start drinking anything with aspartame, you're killing yourself.
Rob, what they've done is the same thing that they're doing now with corn. They're calling it corn syrup instead of high fructose corn syrup. They've changed the name. I got some. My sister said, I'm so dehydrated with the heat coming on. I've been drinking Pedialyte. And she said, and I feel a little bit better, but it hydrates really well. Well, Pedialyte, as you probably know, is what you give babies when they're sick to keep fluids going down.
Yes.
So I got some, and I'm drinking this bottle and get this funny taste in my mouth. And I look on the bottle, and son of a gun, it's called Ace Sulfame rather than aspartame. That's the name they gave it in Europe. But Ace K Sulfame is aspartame, and so help me God, it is in Pedialyte. For babies.
Do you remember the time we were doing a show, and it might have been with Robert, because he also would talk about aspartame, and somebody called us from a grocery store who worked at a grocery store, and they went up and down the aisles during the show, and they were telling us all the different types of foods, everything from cough medicine to baby vitamins, Flintstone vitamins. I remember that.
Yeah, it's in everything. It's in everything. But you asked me why is it still on the market. Yeah. Can you say Monsanto?
Monsanto?
That's it.
I can also say Donald Rumsfeld.
Okay. Don't capitalize it.
Because
he has capitalized on the pain of the public. Obviously.
He sure has. And we're still looking at MSG. What that is still doing around, God only knows. Well,
and then there's fluoride in the water. There are cities that are there are people demanding it be taken out of the water in their cities, and there are counties that are passing laws saying it has to be in their water. So, what's a poor girl to do? I just keep sending the information out there. It's up to the people. It's up to the people, one person at a time. Hillary Clinton said it really well in the title of her book years ago, and the title of her book was "It Takes a Village." It takes a village in the old Native American way. Did you know that in the Native American way, a person is not considered an adult until they're 50?
Really?
Absolutely.
I'm just a youngster then. It makes me feel better.
You didn't get there yet. You have not. You have not, quote, come into your own.
I came into my own years ago, my dear.
In the Native American way. Darling.
Oh, I see. Wolf
Go ahead.
was also interested in petroglyphs. I remember he was doing some work with petroglyphs at the mouth of Hell's Canyon near Clarkston, Washington.
There are petroglyphs there that show beings from the stars. There are petroglyphs there that show swirling. It looks like swirling discs and what have you. I spoke this evening to Sherry Takla, who was his best lady friend for years and years and years. And I mean friend. I mean, they were not in a relationship, except the best of friends. And what she said was that he was most ardent in proving that they who came from the stars altered our DNA and shared time, and have shared time, information, and their beingness with us throughout history. That's what Sherry said she would say was what Wolf thought about his own mission. He was ardent in proving that.
Did Wolf ever talk about the events of December the 21st, 2012? The end of the Mayan calendar?
Oh, yeah. He said it was not the end of anything, that it was going to be a gradual changeover in energy as the planets and the star beings moved into juxtaposition one to the other, that would allow higher frequencies to come through to us.
Why do you think, Sho, and maybe Robert shared this with you, why the star people just don't make their presence known to one and all and give this planet the help that we desperately need?
Okay, I'm going to say it again. The planets have to be in juxtaposition one to the other to allow the energy to come through in such a way that it doesn't overpower us. Remember I talked about when Wolf would be in that higher state of consciousness?
Yes,
yeah. If I would come into the room, he'd jerk back into his body, and it would, he'd be furious, and I would be so embarrassed. That higher energy, most people couldn't handle that higher energy. It would burn them up in a minute. Years ago, Rob, I had a Kundalini experience that lasted several months as a result of doing yoga for 3 times a day and living on sprouts and cigarettes and coffee and a couple of rice cakes now and then. Anyway, I had a Kundalini experience, and that experience took me to higher realms. But what happened to my body was amazing. I had huge blisters all over my backside. Huge, huge blisters from the heat of the opening of the Kundalini in the tailbone. Now, that energy is so, and when I tried to begin to eat again and tried to come down from that, it lasted 3 months. And I had to decide whether or not I was going to sit on a pillow the rest of my life and expound great profundities, or whether I was going to pick up a hoe and go back and work in the garden,
Yeah.
And what I was told to do, I finally did a meditation and said, God, tell me what to do. And I heard these big, loud words, and they said, go back to Wendy's. So I'm supposed to go eat hamburgers now, right? Eating one tiny little bite of food would bring me down into this thick body, and it was so painful. That higher energy is so painful. When I had to very carefully and very slowly over several weeks reintroduce my higher self into my body. That the energy that you're talking about, why don't they come and just dig us out of this mess?
Yeah.
Their energy is so high that it would just burn everything up.
Well, let me just ask.
Until we're ready, or until the planet has been re-energized, as in the configurations that are coming about in 2012, they can't.
Oh, okay. But what about all these UFOs that people are seeing? Are they seeing real UFOs, or are these just figments of their imagination?
I believe they're absolutely seeing them, and they may be real, and they may be projections from the other side, just to get our attention, to look up. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do. I understand. So this master plan or this alignment, does this coexist or does this coincide with any other religious philosophy?
Well, I don't know. Wolf has got probably 40 pages about all of this in his the book in the Echoes from Our Future.
Right.
The Chilambam talks about it. It's talked about in many, many different ways, and I can't even give you the list right now of the different places where he was able to pull the information together and say, looky here and looky here, and this matches this and that matches that. So that's the kind of research that he did, and that's the kind of presentation that he has made in his now 5, it'll be 6 books, 7 books.
Yeah, in fact, when we come back from this commercial break, let's talk about the books and how people can get copies so that they can have a bit of the experience that both you and I shared with our good friend, Robert Ghostwolf. Please stand by, Shoshana. Great talking to you again. Exonation, Shoshana Allison is my guest, and Shoshana and I will be back on the other side of this commercial break as we wrap up this hour here in the X-Zone. After all, this is truly a place where people dare to believe and dare to be heard. My name is Rob McConnell. Whatever you do, don't go away, and if you have to go away, you've got about 4 minutes to come back.
And the way the sunlight plays upon her hair, I hear the sound of a gentle word on the wind that lifts her perfume through the air. I'm picking up good vibrations. She's giving me the excitations. I'm picking up good vibrations.
Exonation, welcome back. Shoshana Allison is our special guest this hour. We've been talking about our good friend Robert Ghostwolf, who left this realm of reality 5 years ago. And Robert authored several books. In fact, they're still available at Trafford Publishing. Robert's books include Changing the Tides of Fear, Days of Destiny, Cosmic Prophecies for the 21st Century, Through the Eye of the Shaman, The Naguel Returns, and Last Cry, Native American Prophecies and Tales of the End Times. And there's also another book. What's the last book, Sho?
Well, the last book is not yet published. It will be published. Watch robertghostwolf.com and wolflodge.org for it. It's going to be entitled Echoes from Our Future. And these are more prophecies from Wolf and the comparison of the various of the ancient texts with what's going on now. And then the last of the Hopi prophecies are in that book, The Last Thunders. All right, and then the one following that will be Ancient Footsteps Along the Old Spanish Trail. And just as a little explanation about that one, Wolf discovered that the Old Spanish Trail is really not the Old Spanish Trail. It's an ancient trail that the Spaniards followed. And he discovered this because all along this trail there are ancient sites that had nothing to do with the Spanish. So, and they go all the way from South America, Mexico, all the way up into Canada.
Interesting.
And particularly, we didn't mention the giants in Utah. He studied those for a long time, and then the cave in Illinois where it is probable, not possible, but probable, that the remains of Alexander the Great are interned. And Harry Hubbard is still working on that now. He's gone to the Marion County, Illinois Board of Commissioners and has asked them for help with it, so they know they've got a treasure in their backyard.
Is anyone else working on the projects that Robert started working on?
Well, Harry Hubbard is working on the Illinois caves. I don't know. There's a gentleman up in Utah who is the one that brought him to the Giants. I don't know what he's doing, if anything. We've got forensics on a lot of the things they brought out of the tombs up there where the Giants are buried. I've got forensic reports and what have you that Wolf was meticulous with his archaeological work. And when he had something in his hand, he would say, "I don't know, we'll find out," and off to the forensics man we would go. So I've got reports of things from all kinds of artifacts from Utah and some from the Mystery Cave in southern Illinois. That's www.illinoiscaves.com for anybody interested in that. It's a humongous website. And so, his books tell a lot of it. They don't tell it all. His website, Stargate Files website, somehow one of our tech people let that website go, but I just discovered today in the archives and the archives, internetarchives.org.
Yes.
I found some Stargate Files pages in there that we'll copy out and we'll repost them. I am so excited.
Hey, Sho, I hate to do this, but we've run out of time for tonight. We'll have you back on in the future, but in case I don't speak to you, from everyone here at the X Zone to you and everyone at your end of the telephone, including your 3 dogs, a very Merry Christmas and a healthy, happy, wonderful New Year.
Thank you, Rob, and the very, very best to you and your family.
Take care,
and to
my
your
dear.
audience.
We'll be back on the other side of this break. Don't go away.
We love you.